Hey guys, EC Network here, coming at you with another video. Cartoonito launched on Cartoon Network back in September of 2021 to a lot of controversy given that it was taking up a large portion of the schedule. I believe when it first launched, it started at 6 a.m. and ended at 2 p.m., which is honestly crazy because then Cartoon Network was going from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. being the shortest block on its own channel, which was rather strange to see. But that didn't last for all that long because Cartoonito was met with some criticism from a lot of people given that, like I said, it was taking up way too much time on Cartoon Network's schedule, and I guess the ratings weren't all that great for it either because we soon saw that Cartoonito would start to get shorter and shorter and shorter, ending at 12 p.m., 11 a.m., 10 a.m., then all of a sudden 9 a.m., and the current schedule that we have right now is Cartoonito comes on at 7:30 and it ends at 9 o'clock. So it's on for an hour and a half every single day, and that's the current schedule we have for Cartoonito at least until February 19th. On February 19th of this year, Cartoonito is losing another half hour of airtime. Now it's going to be starting at 7:30 a.m. with Bugs Bunny Builders. At 8 a.m. you'll have Bat Wheels on, and 8:15 a.m. you'll have Jessica's Big Little World. Then at 8:30 it goes back to Cartoon Network with We Baby Bears. This has just been such a fascinating thing to watch transpire over the past few years because Cartoon Network and Tom Ashton and crew seemingly thought that this was going to be their next big thing on the channel, and for better or for worse, you can debate that down in the comment section below. But I'll just say, every time I talked about Cartoonito, reading the comment sections on my videos, I and clearly many other people thought this was a horrible idea from the get-go, but clearly Tom Ashton and the people making decisions over at Cartoon Network thought that this was going to be their next big thing, and obviously they made Cartoonito happen. They made it become a thing on the channel, and like I said, it's kind of crashed and burned since then and has become a huge failure. I know that there are some popular series to come out of Cartoonito, like I believe Bat Wheels is rather popular, and obviously you have spin-offs for certain series like Jessica's Big Little World, and we know the Foster's Home Nursery, that Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends preschool show is also coming, but I just genuinely wonder how much longer until Cartoonito is just completely taken off of Cartoon Network. I feel like it's only a matter of time because we've seen it get worse and worse and worse for Cartoonito, where it's lost more and more and more airtime. Basically, the more time that passes, it seems like the shorter and shorter Cartoonito becomes, and I feel like at a given point, it's probably just going to become a section on Max for parents who have preschoolers to have their kids go watch preschool content, because I really don't see it having a home on Cartoon Network for much longer, and quite frankly, even the time that they're airing it just doesn't make sense to me. Like 7:30 to 8:30, it just feels so odd to me to have Cartoon Network come on at 6 a.m. It stops at 7:30 a.m. for basically an hour hiatus to have preschool shows on with Cartoonito, and then it goes back to Cartoon Network at 8:30. It just seems like it's just forced into the schedule like that. It's like a jigsaw puzzle that the piece just doesn't fit right, and you just kind of smashing it in there trying to get it to fit, but it really is odd to see, and I do wonder, like I said, how much longer is this thing going to be on the air for? I kind of wonder if at a certain point they just get rid of the Cartoonito branding completely on Cartoon Network. Maybe they have some of the shows still stay a part of the schedule and just the branding is gone, and maybe the branding of Cartoonito, like I said before, just stays as a section on Max. As it seems right now, I don't know what Cartoonito is really anymore. I just am kind of curious internally how they even view it, because I believe at one point, I think someone who worked on Craig of the Creek, and don't quote me on this, I believe they said that Jessica's Big Little World was getting the one season it has and that's it, because basically internally the executives have decided to move away from preschool content and move forward with making young adult content, and that's why we've seen this huge expansion upon Adult Swim lately with Cartoon Network over the past like 6 to 8 months. So I kind of think if I had to guess what's going to happen with Cartoonito, my guess would be that whenever the shows that are currently on it conclude airing their new episodes, Cartoonito will end at that point. That's at least what I think is probably going to happen, and we'll see. Maybe they'll continue it a little bit more longer after that just because the Foster's Home Nursery show is coming, but I kind of feel like once that show does actually come, if it is indeed still happening, because we haven't really heard about it in a while, so who knows if it's even happening anymore. It could have been silently canceled by Cartoon Network because they like to do that every so often as well, since we don't have updates on series like the whole situation with the the Amazing World of Gumball movie, which if you don't know what's happening with that, I'll leave a card above to that video. But it could have been canceled, who knows? But I feel like if that show is still happening, I think Foster's Home Nursery is going to just be a show on Cartoon Network, and maybe it's transitioning from being a preschool series to just a regular Cartoon Network show. Because in all honesty, if you think of something like We Baby Bears, it's not a preschool show, but I feel like some people would mistake it for a preschool show, if that makes sense. Like, looking at that series, it looks like it's meant for much younger audiences, and I would argue that yeah, it is, but clearly it is not a preschool series. It's not being marketed as a preschool series, but if you're someone just glancing over and looking at it, you might think that it's a preschool series. I think we might see a similar situation with Foster's Home Nursery whenever that comes out. I think at that point in time, Cartoonito might be completely gone off of Cartoon Network, and Foster's Home Nursery is going to be that show that if you just take a glance at it, you're going to think, oh, that's a show meant for preschoolers, it's meant for younger audiences. But in reality, yes, it is a show that is meant for younger audiences, but it is also something that older fans can enjoy as well. I know Craig McCracken a while ago came out and said that he wants to make the Foster's Home Nursery series something that, yes, is really meant for preschool audiences, but it's also a show that parents can enjoy watching with their kids, which, look, I don't have any kids, I'm not a parent. I personally wouldn't want to sit down and watch a preschool show just out of, enjoyment and just out of consumption for myself, because I don't find that to be enjoyable at all whatsoever. But I'm really hoping the Foster's Home Nursery, if my theory is correct, that it does transition to be a series that isn't exactly meant for preschool audiences, because I would love to return to the Foster's world, and I feel like a lot of other fans of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends would love to see something in the modern day within that universe, within that world. But anyways, for now, Cartoonito is losing another half hour of airtime, and there's not that much airtime for it left to lose. If you lose another half hour and another half hour after that, there is no more Cartoonito, so we'll just have to wait and see at what point in time Cartoonito finally exits Cartoon Network. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about this whole situation with Cartoonito? The fact that it launched with these high hopes and expectations in 2021, and now it's been downgraded to an hour a day for 5 days a week, as opposed to, I think it was 19 to 20 hours we had when it first launched, which was just absurd. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.